got this? Dad got this.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Dad Got Tech. What are we talking about today? We have to talk about the iPhone 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, the Zippity Doodah Max, the 22.4 Max. They have so many of them. It's ridiculous the amount of confusion there is. But they announced new iPhones recently, and they're pretty boss. Does anyone say boss? I don't know. I say it. They're really nice. I absolutely love my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it is legitimately the best vlogging camera that I've tried, and I've tried a couple. I even prefer it to my Canon M6 Mark II. The lens is wider, it has better stabilization. I can just get the shots I need when vlogging. And if you're not caring about cinematic craziness and bokeh and things like that, then it's just so much easier to shoot it on the iPhone. Now, the new iPhone 12, and specifically the 12 Pro Max, is going to be a game changer. In my opinion, it's gonna completely eliminate a vlogger's want or need for a mirrorless or a interchangeable lens type camera. It's that good. Just to go over a couple of the simple specs. It has an f1.6 aperture lens. For those of you who don't know what that means, what it means is it lets more light in, which means its low light capability is gonna be much better. And that was really the only place where the iPhone 11 Pro Max suffered compared to my digital SLR or camera wireless thing. Low light, I could throw a fast lens on it and it would blow it out of the water. Now with this faster lens, it's still not gonna probably be as good as a really good lens on that camera, but it's gonna be much improved. And there is now a low light video mode, which I think will be really helpful to vloggers. Because a lot of the low light stuff that you would get benefit wise and things, they were all pushing them towards the camera, just towards photos. But now with this low light video mode, I think that's gonna be just amazing for vloggers. When you think about yourself as a vlogger, what you're basically, and most of my friends who vlog do, is you're holding a camera out in front of yourself, you're looking at yourself, you're talking to the camera, there's a little bit of background behind you, you'll flip it around to show people where you're at, like the parks or Disney, and that stuff all, needs to be in focus. So that big bokeh that you get with a mirrorless camera or an interchangeable camera isn't that much of a big deal. Now, they added something called LiDAR, and what it is, it's a laser.
I have one simple request. And that is to have sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their head.
Their laser shoots a beam to something, it tells it where it's at, and it can really accurately measure distances. But what that means for photos is they can really make that portrait mode almost perfect now, where you would take a photo and blur the background and the foreground would be in focus like on a real SLR camera would. Well, that's gonna get way better using this LiDAR. Now, they didn't announce that this LiDAR is gonna work for video, which would be just the last step to completely saying, I don't need that other camera. Because I still shoot all of my talking head stuff, I shoot all of my recipe stuff on the real camera. Because of that, it just looks different when you shoot footage that way, and it looks more professional. It looks like it wasn't shot on a phone. And if they can do that with the other one, it's gonna be crazy. But when you guys are looking at these phones and trying to decide which one makes sense, I liken it to buying a car. You always try to get as much as you can. So if there is a car that has like a faster engine in it, then you buy the one with the biggest engine, because you're gonna regret it later down the road, possibly, when you're like, oh, God, I should have gotten the bigger one. And it kind of goes for the phone. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is the one that has all of the loaded features. It gets a sensor shift, which is kind of like a stabilization mode called IBIS that the other cameras have, where the sensor moves around and it helps give you more stable footage. Well, they're putting a version of that in the iPhone 12 Pro Max. They also gave it a little bit better camera with a 2.5 times zoom instead of a 2 times zoom. Other than that, most of the stuff is pretty much the same on the specs. One of the other nice things that they've added to all the cameras now is you get night mode. I think it's on all of them. So the biggest thing for the selfie camera improvement is getting this night mode, which is going to give you better dark footage. Now, as a vlogger, we use that selfie camera most of the time because you want to be able to see yourself as you're vlogging so you can make sure everything's framed. But generally, the cameras on the back are way better. So them giving us this feature for the front is really nice. Ooh, one of the other things they just threw into the iPhone 12 Pro Max is 10-bit recording. And for you who don't know what that means, is it just means how much information is being recorded, and it gives you a lot more control over what you can do with the file when you edit. You get more color information, you get more shadows, things, details in the bits. Just because somebody has 4K doesn't mean it's the same level of 4K as something else. 10 bits, kind of crazy that it's in an iPhone. The most cameras that are in the lower price ranges don't have 10-bit. So the good one, the Pro Max, starts at $1099, and that's for a 128 gigabyte phone. You're gonna need at least the 256 just because of how much space these video files are gonna take up. You're gonna take up. Get the 256, at least, or the 512. But the 256 is $1199. For an extra $100, you're doubling your space. And I recommend you go ahead and do that. It's worth it. I have a 256 on my iPhone 11, and I usually, unless I delete stuff really well, I can fill it up pretty fast. So here is my problem with the new iPhones. I bought the iPhone 11 Pro Max like a year ago maybe, and I still have like, I don't know, 20 something months left on my payment plan, and I can't upgrade for like another 20 months or something. I can't get it, like, unless I sell my phone on eBay and buy the new one, which I might. If I can get enough for it, I very may well. I want that new iPhone 12 Pro Max. Let me know in the comments, do you want the iPhone 12 Pro Max? Do you want another iPhone? Do you like other phones? I don't know, let's talk. That's it for this episode of Dad Got Tech. I would ask that if you are enjoying my content, if you would go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. That would help the channel out and help me out. I also have 2 other channels that you might be interested in. I have a food channel called Dad Got This, and I have a Disney Parks and Fun channel called Dad Got Parks. All those links are in the description. Check them out. You may enjoy them. So that's it. That's this episode of Dad Got Tech, where Dad is just mad that he can't get the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Dad doesn't do outros. That's it.
Thanks for watching. YouTube picked the video on the left that it thinks you like. I picked the one on the right. Let me know in the comments which one was better. I don't know. Or you could let me know in the comments if you believe in unicorns. I want to know. Do you? I do.